What you? It ain't but one guy. Hold on. It's one guy. We ain't but one guy. It ain't but one guy keeping him away from him. That's Terence Crawford. Hey, but one guy.
Everyone in the room picked you to win. Everyone that I asked. Everyone.
Except for me, guess what?
Because I heard he could really play.
No. He can't even be Shakur.
He can't fuck with me.
You.
What's Shakur lied to you?
You lost. I seen the video.
You ain't seen my video.
Oh, I didn't.
Exactly.
I just seen the video.
Exactly. What would happen?
Exactly.
Now that you take care of business, how does you and Devin Haney in? How does that fight go?
Knockout.
Say this.
Devin Haney being at 147, he called Devin Haney out. What do you think about that fight if it's 1 or 2 fights away?
It's kind of a tough fight right now because Devin Haney is right back at the top of his game. Devin showed that the weight loss was probably causing him to not have as good punch resistance, and it also probably wasn't causing him to have as much power or explosiveness as he has. He showed tremendous power, tremendous punch resistance in that fight against Norman, and for him to do that means that the weight was probably an issue. Now, if Keyshawn comes up, or if they even do a catch weight, a 143, 144, it's gonna be a very interesting fight because I think Devin has more tools and more IQ right now, but Keyshawn is different. So when you got a guy that's different.
Terence Crawford is warning Devin Haney not to underestimate Keyshawn Davis. Crawford believes Haney could struggle to handle Davis's power and relentless pressure throughout the fight.
He can't beat you though.
How you gonna bet on somebody else?
I'm gonna bet on him against you.
I will beat you.
No, you can't beat me, but I bet he beat you.
Terence Crawford also warned Devin Haney that boxing can humble anyone who underestimates Keyshawn Davis. He believes Davis's power and determination could create major problems.
And spit you out. You know, out with the old and with the new.
Ali, well, as y'all ask him questions, I think
Keyshawn Davis, who has a close relationship with Shakur Stevenson and Terence Crawford, continues to learn from Shakur at every stage. Shakur believes the spotlight has now shifted to Keyshawn.
Having that. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
We getting past that, and that was your turn. And I'm not gonna allow and sit back and allow you to even waste that talent that you got. Cause I've been told, Key, for years, bro, you could be one of the best. All you gotta do is just, boom, discipline.
you know, with both of y'all being the best, they always gonna want it. And
I gotta come with it.
You know they always gonna want to see it, though. You know everybody always gonna want to see it.
We get to see it.
Keyshawn Davis revealed that negotiations are still progressing and said his fight with Devin Haney is expected to happen in 2026, creating one of boxing's biggest matchups.
Let's do it. You know, I know he's dealing with some legal issues. I don't know what happened. He said he had to turn himself in, but I believe he tweeted like, Keyshawn, let's do it.
He said that?
Yeah, but he tweeted like something like that. Yeah.
Well, you know, Bill was in my DMs. We already was talking about it, honestly, before he even hit the media. So I know it's going to happen in 2026.
And you're good going straight to Devin in your first fight at 47?
If it makes money, it makes sense.
Right. So obviously I want to get your take on your brother, Shakur.
Roy Jones Jr. praised Keyshawn Davis for the quality of opponents he has faced, highlighting his impressive speed and calling him one of the brightest young talents in boxing.
He's fought some elite guys. He's come up short, but he's always fought hard. He's never been stopped. I thought Keyshawn looked really, really good early on in that fight. He looked very poised. And Jermaine was fighting a fight that you typically don't see him fight. Jermaine is known for being very physical, very rough, and he's going to make it dirty if he has to. He was laying back, and it looked like he was allowing Keyshawn to take some ground and get established, but then Ortiz flipped the script and changed the game plan. He started to get into his normal bag of roughhousing and making things dirty. And I said, man, I like that. I was telling Shakur, I was in the locker room watching. I said, I like what he did right there, because he went away, let you get comfortable, and then he said, no, here I am. I'm going to be the guy that you actually thought you was going to be fighting, but I'm not going to do it in the first round. You saw Keyshawn have to make some...
Roy Jones Jr. believes Keyshawn Davis should have 1 or 2 more fights before taking on Devin Haney, allowing him to be fully prepared for the challenge.
You understand me? So you gotta have that intangibleness about him, where he can be a different guy when it's time to be a different guy. You can never count him out. However, if I were pushing Keyshawn, I would have another fight or 2 before I fight Devin, just for experience purposes. And if I was Devin, I would try to jump on it right now before he gets those couple fights, because the more experience he gets, the harder he's gonna become to beat.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough fight. for Keyshawn Davis. And I think in many respects, Devin Haney too. You can't take Keyshawn Davis light. He can really fight. He's really like that. The weight difference is a concern, and it's a fair question. Is he ready now? Is he ready a fight or two from now? But that's the fight, really. If you really want to scream, I'm back. That's the type of fight that you want, because obviously it's in the Turkey Al-Sheikh universe, and that's.
Greg Hackett shared his thoughts on a potential fight between Keyshawn Davis and Devin Haney, explaining why boxing needs matchups like this. He said these fights move the sport forward because both fighters understand each other's abilities, making the contest even more significant. Hackett stressed that fans always want to see the best face the best. Haney against Shakur Stevenson, Haney against Teofimo Lopez, and now Davis against Haney. He believes these are the fights that prove who truly belongs among the elite. Meanwhile, lower-level opponents simply can't match them physically or mentally.
It's because there's things each one of them know about each other. They know that those are great fights. We need those fights. We need those fights. We need the Dev and Shakur. We need the Dev and Tio. We need the Africa and Shakur, the Africa and Tio. Then we need the Gary Antoine mixed in there. We need the Lamont Roach mixed in there. It's a lot of guys. The Abdullah Masons mixed in there. It's a lot of guys we need mixed in there. You know what I'm saying? These are the fights we need. Those other guys, the B-class, C-class guys, they can't keep up with them, either physically or mentally, or both together. They can't keep up with them. You see it.
What kind of message do you think Keyshawn, made it in possibly the 40 to 47 division, beating Jermaine Ortiz the way he did?
I mean, I don't know. 47 is a different division.
Hackett also talked about Davis's recent win over Jermaine Ortiz, calling it an impressive performance at 140 pounds, but said moving up to 147 will be a much tougher challenge. Even so, he doesn't believe Davis is too small for the division, pointing out that fighters often look bigger on television than they really are. Hackett believes the biggest test will be whether Davis can remain calm and consistent as he climbs higher in the rankings. With his talent, experience, and determination, Hackett feels Davis can compete with anyone. In his opinion, a fight against Haney is exactly the kind of elite-level matchup boxing should deliver.
Is he too small for 147? He looked good at 40.
No, I don't think he's too small. These guys only look real big on TV. When you see these guys in person, they don't be that big. You know what I'm saying? So he's not too small, no. The thing is, with Keyshawn, can he keep it together? Can he keep it together mentally? If he can keep it together mentally, then we see great fights out of Keyshawn. If he do that he say he been doing, which I don't know if he was lying or not, saying that he was drinking in camp and shit like that, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's a lie. I don't know if it's, if he was telling the truth. I don't know. But if he can keep it together mentally, then we see great fights out of Keyshawn.
Say Keyshawn Davis and Devin Haney happen next. Who would you favor?
It's tough.
A boxing analyst recently responded to Keyshawn Davis's confident claim that nobody can beat him between 140 and 147 pounds. Davis has openly stated that he wants to fight Devin Haney before moving up to the welterweight division, which many believe has slowed down recently. The analyst explained that there are very few fresh matchups available at welterweight right now. Big names like Ryan Garcia, Mario Barrios, and others already have plans in place, leaving the division looking for new excitement.
47, and he says he wants to fight Jermaine Ortiz and then move up to welterweight, which would be perfect because, like I told you, I really am the best in this business. Like, everything I say is like clockwork, right? It's amazing to me. Sometimes I amaze myself. So what am I talking about? I literally just said welterweight is dry. It's a stale, stagnant, horrible division right now. Not too many ways to mix and match the guys, and then the guys you could mix and match are pretty much busy. The Ryans, the Barrioses, and the Rollies, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video. And I told you it's going to require, this is how it works in the sport of boxing. I know because
The analyst said boxing becomes more exciting when fighters move into new weight classes because it creates fresh rivalries and bigger opportunities. He used Jaron Boots Ennis moving from 147 to 154 as an example, pointing to potential fights with Sebastian Fundora, Virgil Ortiz, Jermall Charlo, and Errol Spence. He believes the same could happen at welterweight if rising names like Keyshawn Davis, Shakur Stevenson, and Gary Antoine Russell decide to move up. For Davis, entering that division would mean facing bigger opponents while giving fans the major fights they want. The analyst feels Davis's confidence and ambition could bring new life to the welterweight division and attract plenty of attention.
More, just like Jerron Boots Ennis couldn't make 47, and he moved up to 154. Now 54 is cracking. They got 54 out here cracking. Tons of names where you can mix and match the Funduras, the Virgil Ortiz, Jermell Charlo, possibly Errol Spence, Murda Zylev, Boots, right? You got tons of ways you can mix and match these people. 47 right now is dry, so it's going to take Shakur's and the Keyshawns and Gary Antoine Russells or the El Rayos, you know, different Edwin De Los Santos, Matias, different guys to move up to start to purge and like fill out the division. Right now, it's not many options. Again, Devin versus Louis Crockpot is a terrible fight, and I don't know anyone.
Keyshawn Davis has officially confirmed that Louis Crocker will be his next opponent before he steps into the ring with Devin Haney, even though he called out Haney immediately after knocking out Jermaine Ortiz. That decision has sparked debate because many noticed Davis never mentioned Crocker during his post-fight interview. Instead, his attention was entirely on Haney. Now that the agreement is in place, Davis says facing Crocker first is part of his plan to strengthen his position before negotiating with Haney.
So, after you knocked out Jermaine Ortiz, let me get this straight. After you stopped Jermaine Ortiz, you made no mention of Louis Crocker. The first name you called out was Devin Haney, and the only name. Unless I missed the rest of the interview. And now, you saying you had a deal in place to fight Louis Crocker next. And then, if it's worth your while, then you'll fight Devin Haney. Because, and I get it, he believes that he needs to get this belt from Louis Crocker for them to value him the way he wants to be.
The reason is simple. Crocker holds a title that Davis believes will increase his value before a fight with Haney becomes official. Still, some critics feel that calling out Haney while already knowing Crocker was next has confused fans and sparked accusations of seeking attention. Many expected Davis to fight Haney immediately, but the business side of boxing often changes those plans. By defeating Crocker first, Davis believes he will have greater leverage and more credibility when pursuing a fight with Haney. Some view the decision as a smart strategy, while others believe it has sent mixed signals. Either way, Davis remains one of boxing's fastest rising names, and the path toward Haney continues to generate excitement.